Hey everyone, it's Rita with Everything Homemade, and this is part 3 in our tomato series. If you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, definitely check out the links in the description box below, as this video will just be a general maintenance video as the tomatoes grow. So a lot of the techniques that I am going to show you here, or that you're going to see me do, are in depth talked about in part 1 and part 2. So it has been an amazing growing season here in northern Alberta, Canada, where I am. We're zone 2, and the tomatoes in the greenhouse are growing like weeds. And the last video I posted for part 2, I only filmed it a week and a half ago. What you saw me do there compared to what you see today is only a week and a half ago of growth. It is crazy. My greenhouse is beginning to look like a jungle, so we need to do a little more maintenance today on the leaves, and maybe we have to do some adjustments with the ties because the tomato plants have grown taller. The outside tomato plants don't need any more maintenance right now. The weather has been a little bit chillier outside with a lot more rain, so the growth has slowed down a bit. Well, in my greenhouse, the humidity has been high, it's been warm and cozy, and those tomatoes are growing like crazy. So let's head into the greenhouse so I can show you what the tomato plants look like. And then we're gonna do our little bit of maintenance, and then I'll show you what it looks like after. If you can see here, look how much leaves have grown, how big they are. And even my mountain princess, look at that. Huge, gorgeous leaves. I mean, they have grown so much and filled out so much, and they're beginning to set fruit, and they're blooming really well. You can see all those blossoms. And so a lot of these indeterminate tomatoes in the middle have actually wound themselves into this snow fencing right here. So we're just going to remove some of the leaves just so the weight comes off and so we can walk. So if you can see Grace here, the leaves are starting to go into the walkway. We always want to have this walkway clear. I like to have a really nice, crisp and clean walkway. And then we have the Roma. And just before we take a look at that, look at this, you guys. I know this isn't tomato, but look at the watermelon growing. It's beautiful. So I'm going to put my hand here so you can kind of see in comparison in size. We've got a whole bunch of watermelon setting in here because it's so humid, so warm, and the plants are going crazy. We got some more hanging there. Look at that. And there's a whole bunch more coming, so I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, back to the tomatoes. These are Romas. And again, you can see these beautiful leaves. You can also see the leaves coming into the walkway. And again, when I walk back and forth here, I really like a nice clean walkway. I mean, look at that. You know how it looked in part 2 when I finished. You can see all the leaves are growing, how thick their stems are, how healthy they are. There's some tomatoes here setting. So Grace, you found some tomatoes here setting on the indeterminate. Can you find them again?
Yeah.
Everything's so green. My eyes are kind of looking here. Where are they, Grace? Oh, there's one right here. Look at that. Right here. There's a setting tomato. And there's lots of blossoms. Look at that. They're small right now. I find indeterminate tomatoes to take a little bit longer to set and grow, but once they get going, they go like crazy. So let's just do some maintenance here, show you what I'm going to be doing. So Grace, why don't you come here? You're going to be my helper today. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off the big leaves. So take a look once again. What we're going to do is take these huge leaves off, but always leave these sections that are coming beside the leaves, because this is what carries those tomatoes. We never want to take those off. And our goal here is to strip all these big leaves, so all these huge leaves off, because it cleans up the tomato, allows the warmth to get on those tomatoes, plus it lightens the load of the plant. So we take a lot of these big bushy leaves off, the plant is lighter and therefore won't break. Plus, it's going to be way easier to water. As you can see underneath here, I have a fairly easy time to water because it's clean, and you can really just see the tomatoes, and you can see aroma here setting as well. And you can then easily pick. So that's what we're doing with the aromas. Same with the indeterminate. We're going to clean up some of those large tomato leaves, and the exact same thing is going to happen with these beefsteak. So again, all these leaves coming, you know, into the row, we're going to strip off, and then we will assess these ties, whether we need to do any adjustment at all when we can kind of see a little bit more. So let's start doing that, Grace. So let's do this plant together. Now you can see how this plant, my tension of my string has went a bit, and it should get lifted up. So we are going to trim the leaves off of this plant and fix our tension. So Grace, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take off this leaf right here, and we're gonna definitely leave those beautiful flowers. Awesome. We're gonna take this leaf right here off. Yeah, and we're going to take this one here. Just make sure you don't cut my string. Okay, that's looking really good. So I'm just going to hold up the plant here. Again, let's take a look. Let's take this big leaf right here off. So right here. Yeah, okay, get quite close. Perfect. And then this one here. And you guys, if you got children, get them involved, because all of these life skills are really important. This one right here, and you can see that right here there's new growth coming, so be careful there not to trim that off. And then if you take a look again, little trees. We want to keep these top leaves, but you see how big this one is, so let's take this leaf off, Grace. Beautiful. So this one here is complete. So now you can see how open it is. And what I'm also going to look at, I don't want any growth here where the strings are. This one here has little buds, so that's fine. This one here is a branch coming off. I'm actually going to nip that one off. I'm going to keep this one, that's fine. That one will be, you know, more tomatoes. This one will have more tomatoes. We've got some tomatoes here, and it's just going to keep growing up. You see how this plant is trying to, you know, droop over this way? Okay, let's undo the tie up here, and we simply just pull it. And what I'm going to do is pull on it, which is going to bring this plant right back up. You see that? And then what I'm going to do is kind of look, do I need to adjust the ties? And it kind of looks like I do. So what I'm going to do is just let go of this string, pull that string right from the bar, so I can wrap around this area, and I'm just going to adjust it up. So it just has some more, so it's just better balanced. And then I'm going to come back here, make sure that tension is good on that string, and I'm just going to do a slip knot once again and tie it right back up. Let's take a look at my tomato plant. Now it's standing up straight, it's got tension on it, and it's not going to fall this way. So that's what we're going to look at when we're trimming up the leaves. We're going to adjust the plants if they need it. Some will need it and some won't. So we've got a lot to work to do, so I'm going to show you what this greenhouse looks like when it's done. Okay, we have green fingertips and some really healthy, good-looking plants. You can see the difference. We didn't have to do too much adjusting to the plants, but again, you can see those beautiful blossoms, and you can also see how much easier it is to walk around here and to water. Remember, I can get my hose in here really easily. I can also easily see some weeds that I can pull, and but you can also see little trees, right? You keep those little leaves on top and they're just gonna keep growing and blooming and being so healthy. So that's what the Romas look like. I did the same thing with the indeterminate ones as well. You can see some of the leaves that we're gonna pick up right there. Quite a bit of leaves, but again, now the plant puts more energy into those blossoms. I can see things. The plants are a lot lighter. You take a lot of the weight off. Grace is just helping me finish the last couple here, and things are looking really good, and you can just see all the blossoms now. And that's what I love about it, is I can actually see what's happening, and it gives really good airflow as well, because sometimes you can get powdery mildew or other bacteria on the leaves, and this way it gives really nice airflow. So how's it looking there, Grace?
Pretty good. I'm almost done.
Yeah, we did such an awesome job together, didn't we?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what we're going to do too is we're going to head to the watermelons. We're going to take some of the leaves off the watermelon vines as well. So kind of the same idea. And just to make sure there's good airflow, because we don't want powdery mildew on those watermelons. And so we can see the fruit growing, since we have to pollinate by hand the watermelon flowers. So we're just going to continue here, and then we're going to weed, and then we're going to give our wonderful tomato plants a good shot of water. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and
We'll see you on the next video.